Throughout history, Jesus has been known as one of the greatest teachers to ever walk the earth. His words have shaped nations, transformed hearts, and continue to guide millions of people today. But what exactly were his greatest teachings, and how do they apply to our modern world? In this video, we'll explore Jesus' most profound lessons and how they can bring wisdom, peace, and purpose to our daily lives. Stay with me until the end, because these truths might just change the way you see the world. Jesus' most well-known teaching is love. Love for God, love for others, and even love for our enemies. In Matthew 22:37-39, he says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." This message isn't just about feelings, it's about action. Imagine if in our modern world, where division and hate often take center stage, more people chose radical love. How different would our workplaces, communities, and even social media be? And then there's forgiveness. Jesus taught that forgiving others is not just for them, but for us. Holding on to bitterness only weighs us down. Think of how freeing it would be to let go of past hurts. One of the most countercultural teachings of Jesus is that the greatest among us are the servants. In John 13, Jesus kneels and washes his disciples' feet, something only a servant would do. Today, humility and service are often overlooked in a world focused on personal success. But true greatness, according to Jesus, comes from lifting others up. What if, instead of chasing status, we measured success by how much we help others? How different would our society be? Fear is something we all experience. Fear of failure, rejection, or the future. But Jesus constantly reminded his followers, "Do not be afraid." In Matthew 8, when his disciples were terrified during a storm, he calmed the sea and said, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Even today, faith is a powerful tool. It doesn't mean ignoring problems, but trusting that God is bigger than our fears. Imagine the peace we'd have if we truly believed that. Jesus warned about chasing wealth and worldly success at the cost of our souls. In Matthew 6:19-21, he says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, but store up treasures in heaven." This doesn't mean money is bad, but it means our hearts should be set on things that last, like kindness, integrity, and relationships. In a world obsessed with fame and material things, Jesus reminds us that true fulfillment comes from what we give, not what we hoard. Jesus also taught that following him isn't always easy. In Matthew 7:13-14, he says, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." Today, standing firm in faith can be difficult when culture pulls us in different directions. But Jesus calls us to live differently, not to follow the crowd, but to follow him. In conclusion, these teachings from Jesus aren't just ancient words. They're powerful truths that can transform our lives today. Love and forgive, even when it's hard. Serve others with humility. Have faith over fear. Focus on what truly matters. Stay strong on the right path. Imagine how different our world would be if more of us lived this way. Which of these teachings resonates with you the most? Let me know in the comments, and if this video inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs encouragement.